to yet another episode of John Works Too Much, because I work too much. Today, we're going to take this kitchen and we're going to rip out all these cabinets, and we're going to take out this hood vent microwave. Well, sorry, it's a hood vent now. We're going to put in a hood vent microwave. We're going to put in new cabinets here, put in new backsplash, put in new cabinets, new sink, new faucet, new dishwasher, and new lights up here. We're going to put in some can lights up in here. We're also going to do some sheetrock in the garage and a fence, which are less exciting. But let's give ourselves, set your timers to 28 minutes and let's see what we get done in that amount of time. All right, hope you guys are having a great day. Bye. All right, you filming? All right, so these shut-off valves won't turn off all the way. You probably have, maybe if you got an older house, you got some of these in your house, and we got to use pliers to get them off. It's got this old 3/8 copper, it's garbage, right? So what we're gonna do is, this is called a, like a cutoff wheel, I guess. And so this is pretty simple. It's got like a spring in it and it's got an arrow around it. So what we do is just take this sucker. We've already turned the water off at the street, by the way. So don't get all stressed out about that. Don't do this without cutting the water off at the street. All right, so that can come off. This is shark bite. So this just grabs right onto copper. And that's done. And then this is PEX. Put that in there. This is PEX. And we've got shut-off valves here. Here's another one. We want to make sure that they're in the off position, which they are. So that's great. Cut this one off here. If I can get this garbage out of the way. There we go. Same thing with that.
So it's basically twisting.
Yeah, it's got a carbide.
Copper.
It's got a carbide wheel, so it cuts it right off, just like that, and then.
It's pretty efficient.
Yeah. Plus, it's not that hard. Okay, that's it. It's done. Hey there. So we didn't get everything done that I wanted to get done because once again I have unrealistic expectations.
And it took 30 minutes.
30 minutes, not 28 minutes, which is a little bit sad. And I'm not gonna lie to you. There came a point. Oh my goodness! Hey, Mr. Monkey. Quick question. Do you have any bananas? Can you go get me a banana? I would love to have a banana. Yeah, okay. You gonna go? Go get a banana. All right. So anyway, earlier we got these cabinets up. We got the hood vent microwave up, which is great. Stove back in place. Cabinets, counters. We put in the sink. That works. There's a soap dispenser, which is nice. It's got a garbage disposal. We got that hooked up. We got the dishwasher hooked up. Counters in. They're not all the way done yet.
Tile's not done yet.
Yeah, we haven't done the
cabinets
backsplash.
aren't really completed.
We need to tweak them and whatnot, but they're all adjustable shelves and things.
These cabinets aren't completed.
But not bad for 30 minutes, not the normal 28 minutes. And there came a point, there's kind of a lot of stuff going on in here, and I felt anxious, and so I told David that I was feeling claustrophobic, and he said, that's stupid. There's no such thing as Santa Claus. So if you're anything like me, you probably think things like, how would I handcuff a one-armed man? Or maybe you think like, if there's a cheetah and she's got a bunch of little cheetahs, are those called Cheetos? I don't really know. Anyway, we were busy today and I forgot to do any videos. But we did some stuff, I'll show you. We got the rest of the counters on, which is nice. We got these recessed lights in, they still need some mud work up there. We got knobs up on these things. We did our backsplash tile, we grouted that, which is nice. We also did a bunch of sheetrock out in the garage, which is boring, and then we did post for a fence, which is also boring. But the sink works, and that's nice, and the dishwasher works, and the hood vent microwave works, and the stove works, and everything. So, you know, there are times in your life when you think, maybe I'm not that important. Maybe I'm not that important of a person, and my job doesn't really matter. And maybe you think that. Maybe you're like, I'm just a construction worker in Texas. Who really cares? Poor me, boo-hoo, whatever. But here's my thought. Whenever you find somebody, anybody at all, who is good at their job and who does a good job at it, has a great attitude, that is a joy. No matter what in the world you do, if you're a waitress or if you're, I don't know, if you clean toilets, if you're a janitor or a maid or anything that you do, an engineer, like something important, if you're a rock star, it doesn't matter. But if you've got a good attitude and you do your job well, I just think that's a joy. And I think that you're a blessing to people, and I applaud you. I don't mind people that are dirty because I'm filthy. But I just think that we should do our jobs well, and we should do our jobs as unto the Lord. We spend more time working, especially me, than really anything else that we do. And I think that our work is like an act of worship. The way that we work, the way that we deal with our customers, the way that we deal with our employees, or whoever, the people above you and people below you, everybody's got that, says a lot about you. How you deal with your money says a lot about you. And I think that that's very important. So that's my thought for the day. I hope you guys are having a great day, and I'll see you soon. I'd like to talk to you guys about a couple things. First of all, we got that kitchen done. I think you pretty much, oh, thank you for the water. We pretty much showed you what that looked like inside. We also fixed some sheetrock, and we got this fence up, which is pretty amazing, and we got the gate up. So that's great stuff. So I'm a little disappointed because I read this book on dieting, and I'm still fat. What do you think about that, David?
You're huge.
Yeah, no, it's really
in
disappointing.
Japan.
Did you?
Yeah, I'm definitely huge in Japan. I had dinner, and I think that really just it's embarrassing. I don't want to talk about it, but I'll tell you what I do want to talk about is
Let's
that.
see your six-pack.
No, it's more like a kegger. You don't want to touch this. This is nasty. It'll scare you. So I talked to my mom yesterday, who I love very much, and she said, "John, I watched your video about how to lay a laminate floor," and I was like, "Cool." And she goes, "And then I laid a laminate floor." And I was like, that makes me so happy. Like, I'm so happy for you. And so if you guys have watched any of these videos and it's helped you with anything, please tell me about it, because I love hearing that. And I want you to know about my friend's gossiping problem. You want to hear about it? I can tell you all about how much they gossip. You want to hear about that? Nah, it's kind of hypocritical. I will tell you that I do gossip about people all the time, but I don't know if this counts as gossip, so I'm gonna need your opinion. If I say good things about you when you're not around, and I tell people all the good things about you and like how to encourage you, and like if you've got a concern in your life, and I'm like, how can I help you with that? Is that gossiping?
In a good way.
But it is gossiping.
Pretty much.
Well, then I'm guilty. I gossip all the time. All right, so we're done with this one, and we're moving on to probably a deck tomorrow. Love you guys. Bye. Did you just? Okay. Good morning, and welcome to yet another episode of John Works Too Much. Now, I've had times in my life, I'm pretty lazy, I'm not gonna lie, and I'm not really a maintainer or a fixer. I'm more of a just, let's buy a new one and replace it. So I have had a car that ran out of gas before, and I was like, ugh, too much hassle, I'm just gonna buy another car. So as you can probably tell, these are beautiful windows that are really in great shape, but they're a little dirty when you try to wash them, right? You just like, I feel like maybe we ought to just get rid of them. Now, the people that own the windows are complaining because, you know, the springs don't necessarily work, and it's single pane glass, and maybe overall doesn't look beautiful, but I feel like you just put a little bit of this on there, you'd be fine, right? I mean, maybe I'm wrong. Either way, we always do what the customer wants because, you know, we need their money. And, you know, I think this stuff fixes a lot of stuff. Like, for example, I'm kind of a mess myself. I've probably got some cracks. I'm really single pane glass and stuff, but you think it'll help me, Canoe? I don't know, let's try it. Yeah, I think it'll help, yeah. No problem. So Canoe was like, hey, you should definitely not. He said, I strongly advise you against doing that. I'm like, because you're worried about my health? And he's like, no, I don't care about your health. I hope you die of COVID. But he said, you know, kids might watch this and get scared. So here's the thing, kids. Don't actually do this, because I've been building up a tolerance to this stuff for years. It does kind of sting a little bit. It's got a lot of ammonia in it, but it's probably, I think I might get COVID from it. And I may, he's already coughing just from being, it's like a second contact high or whatever from COVID from this. But I want my kids to be able to sue the generic Windex company so that they can, you know, say, hey, he died of COVID. Anyway, that's not really, disclaimer, that's not really Windex. It's just Blue Powerade. And it's still chilled from the gas station. Quite delicious, actually. Very refreshing. All right, so we're gonna put in new windows because these actually do look horrible and they don't really work very well, and they're just, you know, a mess. So we tear those out and put in new ones, and they're double pane, and it's gonna be amazing. So we'll show you as we go. Anyway, love you guys, bye.
Kids, do not drink Windex.
Do it! Drink, it's delicious, look.
Oh, hey. So as you can see,
there.
me and John are working together again.
Yes!
It's been a while, hasn't it?
Yes, I've been crying every day.
Crying, like laugh crying or like sad
It's,
crying?
but I laugh a lot when I cry, and I cry a lot when I laugh. It's very confusing.
I think it goes a lot like this.
It's like this.
Like Yeah. But like those theatrical, sad,
Yeah.
happy faces.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
All right. So, I want to talk to y'all today about laziness. Cause
I got it.
You got laziness?
Oh yeah.
It's
It's a 4-letter word.
It's actually you're more likely to get laziness than COVID-19.
It's an epidemic.
actually-
It's a pandemic.
Laziness is probably one of the leading symptoms of COVID-19. So we're gonna go ahead and talk about laziness right now.
Fact check. That's right.
Yeah, that's right. Okay, so yeah, my source for that is John, and John's source for that is me. So,
Pretty much. I mean, that settles it. And just like Facebook rules, I think that applies.
And you can trust anything you see on the internet, promise.
Absolutely. And it'll still be on the internet in moments.
Okay, so in the spirit of laziness, my hammer's right around the corner. It's like maybe 20 feet away from me, and I'm feeling lazy. So I'm gonna show y'all a hammer fist technique. So we've got this little spot right here. I gotta get the, pry bar and wonder bar in there. You take it like this, you say, okay, yeah, this is where I could probably use a hammer, but instead I'm gonna use my hammer fist, and I'm just gonna get that in there like that.
What in the world?
It's taken me 10 years of Kung Fu construction training by my sensei, John Tennell, to actually get that, okay? And then, look, he has a hammer on his tool
This
belt.
reminds me of a wonderful. I was going to tell you that I had a hammer right here, but I wanted you to find it yourself.
Yeah.
So this reminds me. The Indians say that if you look wherever there's a problem, right next to it is the solution. And let me give you a for example. So poison ivy. I happen to be really allergic to poison ivy, unfortunately. Apparently, wherever poison ivy grows, there's something called jewelweed that grows, and the jewelweed is the antidote for the poison ivy. And I've done this before. I was working on a job building a bridge, and I got poison ivy. Poison ivy was everywhere, and I saw it, and I'm like, oh no, I'm gonna be so itchy. And I looked around, I was like, there's gotta be some jewelweed here, and I found it, and I rubbed it all over my legs, and I washed it all off and everything, and I didn't end up getting poison ivy. Yeah, so usually the solution is right in front of you. Like in your case, when you're looking for a hammer, there was one right here, and if you just said, hey John, you got a hammer? I'd be like, it's right here. And a lot of times I'll be like, where are my sunglasses? I'll look all over the world and right on my face. Yeah. Or how many times have you been looking for your cell phone with the light on your cell phone like this?
Yeah, I've done that for sure.
Like constantly, right? And so I think that we're just pretty dumb and we're pretty lazy,
Yeah.
which brings us back to COVID. And because of that,
Yeah.
we don't see that the answer is right there in front of us. And this isn't just about hammers and poison ivy and sunglasses and phones. This is about life lessons and stuff that you're looking going, I don't know why this doesn't work. Just take a step back, remove yourself from the situation, look at it and go, you know what? The answer was right there next to me the entire time.
And I just want to say that we are setting a dangerous precedent with our laziness due to COVID-19. America will suffer because of it. There are industries that are suffering because of it. And the only industries,
All the industries except for us are suffering.
yeah, the only industries that are surviving are construction and real estate. That's because we got the hustle and we lost the laziness and we keep working. So
We don't make excuses. We
don't-
make money.
We don't. Yeah, that's exactly right. We don't make excuses. We make money, and we also make hammer fist techniques. And also, I was too lazy to even ask John for a hammer. So that's the lesson for today. We're gonna get back to our pinstriping and bean grilling. And
Yeah, we like to we grow some beans.
oh hey.
Oh, hey there.
So we're just out here working today. Today's a pretty hot day. It feels like it's about 105, but with that cloud that just passed by, the little one's about the size of a nickel. It felt like 103 degrees.
That's not bad. That's a big difference. So with this weather that's kind of weird right now, did anybody else notice like a significant drop in temperature all of a sudden? Like I did. I noticed probably a 30-degree temperature drop. As soon as we took this window out and the AC started blowing in our face, it was like, wow, man. The answer was right in front of our face this entire time. We were hot and sweaty, and then we took the window out, and right there on the other side of that window, there was a cold AC. Now, I don't know who's paying the bill on this. They're probably not going to be as happy about it, but
No.
man, it really feels good. It's like putting your head in a fridge.
I almost actually had a tendency to kind of look in here and try and find a jar of pickles or maybe a bottle of
That
juice.
is
or
nice. Here's some
something.
mustard.
Yeah, it feels like a fridge.
It really does. It feels really nice in there. What do you want to talk about, Kenny?
I want to talk about the ideal place to live. Okay, so
Okay.
for me right now, I feel like the ideal place to live is inside of a fridge because
That's honest.
we've been hot and miserable and sweaty for it seems like our whole lives. So now my ideal destination to live, screw the Caribbean. I don't care about the mountains. I don't care about the beaches or anything like that. I want a refrigerator that's big enough for me to put a bed and, my tools and my body.
I think that with modern science and enough money, you could probably make that happen.
Yeah, it might be even more expensive than a house.
It probably is.
You know, and then you know what we can put in there?
Yeah.
The food we eat too. We can live with our food, our juice. We don't have to get up and do nothing.
We have to have the bathroom in another room, though. You don't want to crap where you eat. That's an unwritten rule.
That's an unwritten rule?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, I could write it down. I got a
I was
pencil.
about to say, wherever you eat.
Yeah, right there.
Now it's a written rule.
Yeah, for sure.
Well, it will be.
sure.
Just trust us.
Is there any other place that you'd rather live
I would like to live.
besides in a fridge?
I was thinking maybe like an underground cave or something like that.
Oh,
you know,
yeah.
with stalagmites and stalactites or whatever.
Yeah, maybe like albino geckos or something.
Yeah, because I'm pretty brown from the summer, so I'd like to kind of find a place to.
Yeah, you're a little bit browner than me.
Oh crap! I'm dirty.
Ooh, wow.
How did that happen?
Good Lord. What happened here? This is, I need to go take a shower.
This is why you go to school, kids.
Yep.
So you can-
Stay in school.
So you can get out of school, make $12 an hour, and still come work for us.
Remember when you're like, John, I graduated, and James like, me too, and I'm all like, that's why you work for me.
Yeah,
I'm a dropout.
That stung a little bit.
Yeah. Don't stay in school, kids. My son just dropped out of school 20 minutes before he's about to finish. He didn't drop out. He's taking a semester off, which means he's never going back. Love you, Ben. Hope you don't see that.
We're just kidding, Ben.
We are just kidding. Really, seriously, stay in school and get a job and start making your own money.
Also, Hudson, when you're old enough and you watch this video, I want you to know that is how I feel about your education.
Yeah, like hurry it up because Daddy's tired.
And you got a business to help me run.
Yeah. Yeah, so, for sure. All right, love you guys. We're gonna get back to it. We gotta put a window in. So Kenny and I have been friends for a very long time, and we're good friends.
It's like a fishing story. We love canoeing so much that every time we talk about it, the love grows. Like the fish.
It is like that. Now, I actually went fishing the other day. A lot of people don't know what a great fisherman I am. I caught a fish this big.
Oh yeah?
Mm-hmm. Nope. Actually, it was this big. Oh, you know what? Actually, I was right the first time. It was this big.
Okay. That is a great fishing story.
You could totally use that. Did you hear about the one-armed fisherman who caught a fish this big?
Nuh-uh.
That's it. How would you handcuff them anyway? So we got all these windows in all around. They still need to be painted, and we still need, some of them need to be caulked. But Kenny did an amazing job. Nathan did an amazing job. I did all right. Most of the time, I'm not gonna lie to you, I just sit there like in a lawn chair with a little fan, like a little Mr. fan on me, and I sip on lemonade, and I'm like, no, go do this. And everybody's like, I'm so tired, John. I'm sweating and bleeding and dying. And I'm like, you know what? Get back on your heads. And like, what do you mean? I'm like, now you have to do it, but on a handstand. And then I don't care if your tool belt falls in your face, you've got nails and stuff, just keep working. And that's the way I am.
Yeah,
Yep. That's why people love me.
that's true.
Yep. I don't do anything.
I don't think that's true.
It's kind of true.
I think John did most of the trim work today.
There is some truth to that. There's
It's
some
true.
truth. But Kenny did all the caulking.
I used a lot of caulk today.
He used like 2 cases of caulk.
Yeah.
All right. So
Still wasn't enough.
it never is. We're gonna go see a show tonight. By we, I mean me and somebody else. And I don't know what you got a date night, right?
Yeah, I got a date night.
You ought to come out with us. I love you guys so much. We'll see you soon. So I'm out here working by myself today. I got all these windows painted. There's one. There's 12 of them total. Like many of you, I really enjoy talking to myself because he really gets me. And also, I'm having deja vu all over again. It feels like I've been here before. So I just wanted to wrap this video up because sometimes I forget to do that because I'm lazy and busy. Anyway, that's it. We got a bunch of windows done and they're all in and everybody's happy. So love you guys. Hello, and welcome to yet another episode of John Works Too Much. So my friend Daryl yesterday, Bernard, called me up and said, hey, I need to put in a door. Can you tell me how to do it? And I'm like, yes. Well then today, my other friend Maureen was like, hey, my door doesn't shut. Can you help me out? And I'm like, also, yes. And then I thought, you know, the weather's changing and it's probably that time of year where probably a lot of you guys need to adjust your doors. Let me tell you why. First of all, a lot of North Texas around here is on clay. And so clay, when it gets hot and it dries out, then it shrinks and it cracks. And when it gets wet, then it swells and it grows. And so what ends up happening is when it shrinks down, then your house tilts one way, and then when it swells up, then it comes back the other way. And so your house can become unlevel. The solution to that normally is you put a soaker hose around your house and run it all the time, because you can't always make the ground dry, but you can always make the ground wet. Nevertheless, a lot of people don't do that even though they should. Or maybe it's just not enough. Maybe your ground is just that much of a mess. So probably a lot of you have doors that won't open and shut, windows that won't open and shut at different times of the year when the weather changes, or you got stress cracks and things above your doors and windows. So here's how to adjust that so that your neighbors don't walk in your house and just take whatever they want, or criminals. So this gap that's around your door, that's called a reveal. and you want that reveal to be the same everywhere. Now I just adjusted this door, so we're gonna kind of cheat here, but what you want is you want a door that opens and closes easily, that it catches on the strike plate, and that locks in, and it's a nice tight seal. But a lot of times, you know, you'll try to close the door and maybe it's rubbing, and you got to see where is this rubbing, right? If it's rubbing on the top, then you need to take the screws on the bottom and screw those in, and that'll pull it down, right? Or if it's rubbing on the bottom, then this is the most common way. If it's rubbing on the bottom or up on this top part right in here, if this is really tight, and if it's really tight on the bottom, and then there's a big gap and a big gap, then you get inside this hinge right here, you open the door, and then put screws into the wood there, probably 3-inch screws, and then stick them in there real good, and it'll suck that door up, and then it'll level it back off to where that reveal is the same. So really the whole concept is, how do I make this gap the same so that it will open and close? If you're super lazy, which I realize a lot of you might be, then what you can do is adjust the strike plate. This is your strike plate. So what happens is this thing right here catches onto that strike plate, and then this thing right here also catches onto this strike plate. And so you can close the door and then line up and then make a mark and then adjust up or down. This is a French door, so I definitely would not recommend that. But on a regular door, you can just like chisel out a little bit more and then move it up and take the screws out, whatever. So the place that you would put the screws would be over in here. Now what we did on this one, you can get over here closer. What we did on this one is this needed to be moved out some. First, so I tried to adjust it by moving this in. So I put long screws in here and that sucked it up, but it wasn't enough. And so I took these screws out and I put some cardboard shims back behind there and then put it out so that it would come out this direction, and now it closes. So probably when it dries out again next year, you'll have to take these back out and do it again. But that is how you adjust a door. So hopefully you learned something today. And if not, then I still love you just the same. All right, bye. Good morning, and welcome to yet another episode of John Works Too Much. So you probably remember we worked on this house a while ago, a couple different times, and it is just beautiful. Every time I come over here, I'm like, wow, this is really a tremendous difference. We did all this kitchen, remember? And today, see over here, we're gonna put some of this brick tile up along all of this stuff and then down in here, and we're gonna get kind of arty, like what we did over here on this side. See that? Oh gosh. See this right here? Yeah, we're gonna do something like that. So that takes a little bit of skill, but we've got, you know, a little bit of skill. So that should be pretty amazing. I just want to say for the record that sometimes people talk about me behind my back, and I am so grateful for that. So if you guys are like, I wonder if I should say it to my face or whatever, please don't. Just say it behind my back where I don't have to think about it. I assume everybody talks about everybody behind their back, and so if you do and you're talking about me, like, I forgive you, and I just really don't care that much. So I think that carry on. All right, so you're not gonna see my face because there's nobody else here but me. But this is kind of what I'm doing on this wall, and I just want to show you kind of how I did it. So it looks like that probably took forever, but really only took about 7 minutes. This stuff comes in sheets. Like that. So I just take that whole sheet and put it up. Yeah, I put mastic. So there's mastic. I put that up on the wall. I stick the whole sheet there, and then to hang it, because I'm not, usually you start from the bottom and you go up, but because we're making something arty, then what I'm doing is I'm taking these nails and I'm putting these nails ever so often so that I can support it so that it doesn't sag, and then once it dries, then I'll grout it. But that is kind of cool looking, right? So that kind of goes with the theme of everything else, and you can see how it's kind of spaced apart, like the bricks are crumbling off or something on the edges, but it looks real nice.
Oh, hi. I was not expecting this.
So did you hear that scientists have been able to grow human vocal cords in a petri dish?
Well, I mean, I've heard that they've been able to like reproduce human tissue through stem cells.
The results speak for themselves.
Oh, okay. Sorry for getting all serious on that.
Yeah.
So anyways.
So what you got over here?
We have this, I want to call it faux brick, but it's not faux brick because it's brick sliced in thinly sliced slices. Matter of fact, this is the perfect kind of brick for a brick sandwich. You don't have to refrigerate it either. It looks really good. This is John's artisanship, all the patterns and stuff that you see here. What we had to do is we had to go in the backyard and we had to dig into the ground until we found this exact color of clay. And then we hand harvested all the clay, brought it in, added some sand to it, threw all that away, and then went and actually bought grout. Put it in a bucket.
I was very groutful for the grout.
Yeah, put it in a bucket, put it on. As you can see, these are probably some of the smallest grout lines you'll ever see in any kind of tile work. Oh, that's not true?
No.
Okay, these are probably some of the biggest, my bad, grout lines you'll ever see in tile work.
That took an entire bag just for that little bit.
Yeah, that's pretty amazing. And then it's also the easiest to clean.
Not true. No.
Oh, I'm sorry, it's the hardest to clean.
That is no lie.
Every time you wipe, you smear the lime, and also you've got porous material, so it likes to absorb the grout. So you have to really work in small sections like that, and then rinse your sponge regularly. Just in case you were wondering how to do it.
I wasn't.
Well, I know you weren't, but they might.
That's true. These people don't know very much.
Anyways, you got any questions for me?
No.
Well, today is another beautiful day to be alive in the grace and glory of God, and I recommend everybody out there stay safe and
Or die.
be humble and be more proactive with your life.
There you go. Love you too. Hello, and welcome to yet another conclusion of John Works Too Much. So yesterday, several people, mostly girls, commented on the fact that I look really tired. And I know a lot of you would be like, ugh, rude. But I was like, oh, that's so sweet. I am really tired. I'm exhausted. Let me explain why. First of all, you all know that I work too much. But this last week, I worked a lot of days that were like past midnight. Then I had one that was till 1:30 in the morning, one was till 2:30 in the morning, and then two in a row that were till 3:30 in the morning, which is fine. I can still get up at 6 and go work all day long, but I worked straight through on Sunday too. And as you all know, Sunday is the Lord's Day. Really, they're all the Lord's Day, but Sunday especially. So they've actually done scientific research, and our hearts go at a certain rate, whatever our rate is, mine is really low, for 6 days, and then our heart beats slower for a full day. And if we don't get that rest that we need, then our immune system goes down and we start looking like haggard and aged like myself. And so thank you for your concern. I really do appreciate it. I'm going to try to get rest this Sunday because, believe me, I need it. Ken, you got anything else to say?
I was just gonna say, man, you don't look a day over 54.
Thanks. I'm 31.
Oh.